Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the fifth episode of the Chaos Castle God podcast. Today, we're bringing on a guest who just dropped maybe one of the best albums of the year. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's Ricky Miyagi for Christ. It's absolutely amazing. Just check it out, all platforms. But nonetheless, Rick Rogers, how are we doing?
I'm chilling, bro. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I just wanted to open up with the album. I think let's put it out there that it's an amazing album. Me personally, I've been going with Thief in the Night. I love the intro. I absolutely love the intro. Usually,
Okay.
a lot of times for me, I feel like intro songs like aren't the strongest, but I feel like that might be the strongest intro song that I think I've ever listened to in my entire life.
Okay.
So Guard Your Soul, I love Some Days, and I think Dying to Live. I think those got to be my top four that
Okay.
I've listened to so far. But what for you? Like when you were making them, which one were you like? Okay, this is gonna be the one that does the best. This one's gonna be the one that people like the most. How are you feeling?
See, I don't even. I've been making music so long that train of thought with them. I don't even really have that train of thought for real. Cause the way I make my albums is like I live my life for like a good 7 months, and then for somewhere out of nowhere, I just feel like making music. So I'll go 2 weeks straight recording everything. So it all kind of be in one train of thought, if that make any sense. So
Yeah,
as
no,
far as I feel like every song is great. It's not to be funny, it's not to try to like toot my own horn or nothing, but I know what I know about music, my music, helping others with their music. So it wouldn't even be out if I didn't think every song was great. And then my
right.
favorite my favorite song on the album would be Fight of My Life.
Okay, yeah, that's another great song. I don't know what it is. I think for me, it was just more like there's certain songs like catch you, right? Like just how like you hear them and like the lyrics stick in your head so well, and like I think those are the ones that just stuck with me the most. And
Yeah.
I think the Breno Future uh is really nice. So just like the mix of that with Dying to Live and then like the intro. And I think I really like, and obviously like you said, it's kind of one train of thought. So for you, it wasn't like one was better than the other, but I think having Guard Your Soul at the intro and then ending with Dying to Live is like the best way to in and out. Like I think
And it
that
was
was
what's so crazy about that is this project actually was done for like a year. But I'm big on the order of the album because I wanted to always be like an experience. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
what took it so long to come out was that we couldn't put it in the right order. So one like 2 weeks before we dropped it, I was just like, forget it. I'm gonna just slap it in order. So I sent it to K Diamond, and K Diamond actually flipped it around to the order that it's in now. Because I originally had Dying to Live at like number three. I had
Okay.
Fight of My Life at number one. But when I sent it to him and he sent it back. I went in the car and played it. I said, yo, this is crazy. It's the perfect order. And I would never have put Dying to Live as the last song on the project. But it's the perfect setup for the next project I'm going to put out.
That's awesome. And it is such a good like it is a good outro. Like I think it's really good. I mean, it's with it being at least well for me, it's in my top four. So seeing like that intro outro, I think that was like I just noticed that like that was I didn't know if that was on purpose or like how you guys had that set up. But I thought it was great.
What it feel like it is to me, what I like the most about it is like people who know me from making music, like growing up and all that. I could do all types of music. So I have like the raw wave feeling stuff, or like the like the auto tune kind of stuff. But then I got like hip hop too. But if
Right.
you listen to the last project, you don't really hear that I can like rap until the last song. So that's why I feel like it's the perfect setup for the next album I'm finna drop. Like I got an album with Kieran coming out, so you gotta
Yeah,
like
that's
rap
awesome.
up there with him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the
Yep.
perfect setup for that jump, man.
Yeah. So you guys have a whole collab album coming out, or how's
Yeah, it's
that?
coming out on the 31st of this month.
Let's go. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Make all the witches mad on the 31st.
yeah.
I love
I just
that.
let
That's
Kieran set
awesome.
that date because that project kind of been done since the middle of the summer too. But I
Really?
just I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's me procrastinating, but sometimes I feel like it's God just saying it's not ready for it to come out yet. So it's like
Yeah.
now I'm just whenever He want to let it drop, it'll drop. I feel like it's the time He choosing if it do come out.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Kieran's definitely one of one of my favorite artists in the space. So I think that's awesome
Yeah.
you collabed on that. And I was gonna ask you too. I remember a post back a little while ago on Instagram about some of the artists you wanted to work with. Has that changed at all, or are there still some artists you're looking to work with and haven't done anything with yet?
I don't. How can I put this? All right, first thing, I've been doing music for a long time, and I done been around like the industry, and so like it's like my standard of what's good and hot is like different. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I don't just hear an artist that got a good song and be like, I want to do a song with this person. It's like I always want to make music with a person that can come behind me and elevate the song. Like throughout my whole entire career, the secular artist and the Christian artist, it's hard to find somebody who can come behind me like Breno did and elevate the song. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So for me, I don't mind working with anybody. I will, but as far as who I want to work with, like they gotta be. It's like a different level of like knowing what this is, because making music is a how-to thing. Like you have raw talent, yeah, but there's a how-to make music, and I can always tell who knows it when I hear their music for the first time. It could just be one song, and I could just. You ever listen to people that almost every song is good? That's what I be
Yeah.
looking for, because you got some people who can make some songs that's way better than the other, but then you got some people who got this long list of 200 songs, and you can potentially like all of them. That's what I be looking for in artists.
Yeah. I think I think there's a few of those like really out there that have stuck out to me. I mean, I was like I said, your latest album has just been like absolutely amazing. So like credit there. But I think like it's in the Christian space. I actually think it's like we're really getting to a point where there's some like really top quality artists. Like I
Yeah,
think like obviously like Marcus Rogers, like his catalog, right? Like
yeah,
beautiful. Even like and this it's so dynamic. Like I've been a big fan of DKG a lot lately, like more on like that like I don't know if you like that trap rap type
yeah. I
beat. Like
like DKG too. I don't
yeah,
listen to
so
him all the time, but I do like him when I hear him though.
yeah, I think he does a lot of like the auto tune stuff, which I think he's better when he's rapping more than the auto tune. That's just my personal
All
opinion.
right.
But I think there are a lot of artists that are like finally really like building a good catalog behind them. I think Breno's great. Jay Monty definitely has some skill. But yeah, I think the whole industry is really just becoming elevated, and we're seeing a lot more like true talent kind of taking over.
Yeah, and
And
I think that's a good thing too, because that is one thing I will say, because I won't work, not because I won't work with them, but people who I want to work with, aside from them, there's a lot of people that make good Christian music. And I like me and my friend be talking about it all the time, because before I became a Christian, I didn't like any of the music. Like, even if I just heard it, you know what I'm saying? Like, heard a person rapping, I guess it was more hip hopish at a point in time. But now it seems like it's evolving into something where it's like we literally can replace all secular music, and
yeah,
people would just be, you know what I'm saying, just vibing to the music. And I think that's a good space for us to be in, because we can win a lot more souls, I feel like, with music, because everybody plays music everywhere they go for the most part.
yeah, I would say the reason I love this platform and like talking to artists like you is like because music was kind of like what like grabbed me. It was actually like 2020, and I remember like hearing Bryson, and I started listening to like because I was political but not super religious, right? Like I was
Right,
religious, but I wasn't like I was religious, right?
right.
And I think so. I heard like Trump is your president, and I kind of thought it was funny, whatever. Like I kind of got into it, but then Bryson started. Then I started hearing Bryson talk about like okay, like that, like the Bible, you know what I mean, and like change like things I'm doing wrong, and I was just started like clicking in my head. And it was like because I was so obsessed with music. Like I've been obsessed with music my whole life. Just like that's just I've loved it, right? So
Word.
like it was like so hard for me because I loved music. And even like with Bryson, it was like, well, this is the only artist that I know. Like, it's the only artist I could really listen to. Like, it was still hard to like move out of the secular music scene. And then seeing like understanding what was behind the curtain, like there's all these amazing artists that can completely replace secular music. And that's
Yeah,
like what that's what I think the biggest problem is like you're just not going to get a media backing. Nobody's going to like prop you, there's no label going to prop you up or anything, right? So it's like it's really just getting the word out. They're like there's all this amazing talent and music behind the scenes that could completely take over the secular rap scene, but it's like we just don't know it exists.
Yeah, that's I like that you even frame how it affected you in that manner, because on the other end of the spectrum, I've been like close to getting record deals. I've been close to, signing big contracts for writing songs as an artist. I've had dreams of winning Grammys and all this stuff like that. But when I came to know like Jesus, it was just like ain't none of it really worth it. Like anyway, you know what I'm saying? So you might as
Yeah.
well. Like I was just talking to myself in the car. It's like the most important thing we can do in this life is win a soul. So it's like I can win 30 Grammys, but what do it mean if I'm walking past people who was ready to kill themselves at? Like, so it's like if you're gonna set a goal or a standard or take a shot at something in life, it might as well be the highest thing. And I don't think you
Right.
can get no higher than winning the soul. Like it just I don't see anything else that could possibly be more worth it.
Dude, I totally agree. I mean, all of heaven rejoices, right? When one sinner repents. So it's like once you understand that, like what is a Grammy, right? Like it in terms of the greater being and the great, like what is it, right? It means nothing. It's
Yeah.
vanity in the end. It's all vanity. So in the
Right.
end, it comes down to like what is your music pushing people to commit heinous acts of crimes and drugs, or is it pushing them to like change their life, right? Like that's kind of what it comes down to. And it's like it's sad because I don't do you know who Bizzle is?
I just know I see his music, his clips on Instagram sometimes, but I don't know him personally. But I do know who he is though.
Okay, yeah, he posted he does a song and I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but he basically talks about like the whole landscape of like like winning a Grammy kind of and like how you win a Grammy and just the way he like elaborates on it like while singing. That just like it's fun because you brought up Grammy, so it's funny because like I just remember that song. He's just like the way he explains it. It's like these people can talk about like just how they talk about killing and like all these things will get you a Grammy, but you say a word about God and you'll never touch it. You'll never even get on TV. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah,
So
it's so I don't know. Everything is the whole world is crazy when you start focusing on God. You start
yeah,
it's like everything is twisted. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we
yeah,
go on and on about everything, like as far as the industry. And then sometimes I can get convicted because I be now that I'm here and I see things clear. I be ready to say like, man, they crazy. Like I can't see how they don't see how simple it is. But it was hard for me too. Like looking
it
back at
is.
it, it's like I really can't believe how stubborn I really truly was. Like when people would ever try to say anything about Jesus to me, I was really, really stubborn with it. Because now that I'm over here, it's like, duh, making music about drugs, sex, murder is crazy. Like, you know what I'm
Right,
saying? It's like,
right.
duh, music influences my life. Duh, movies influence everybody's life. So it's like, movies is something we have. So if you're gonna make a movie, what you gonna make the movie about? Music is something we have. So you're gonna make music. What are you really gonna make music about? And you really honestly can't justify making music about killing people and
No,
celebrating it. You really can't justify that at all.
and I don't think I've ever heard it justified. I think it's just like pushed aside that it's like normalized, right? So nobody really cares, right? And like you even listen to people that like a lot of them that come out of the secular rap scene, they'll even be like, I wasn't even living that, and it's like so like
Right.
they try to claim like they're living it, that's why they rap it, and then when they're like done, they're like, yeah, I was never really living it. So it's like you're just telling all these young kids like this
Right.
is what's cool, this is how you get to the top, like you got to be a gangbanger, and then turns out they were never doing it in the first place,
Yeah,
and
I feel
it's
like
like
the enemy got the perfect setup with that because people grow up poor. You see people making money, and you do what they do to make the money. So I always felt like
exactly.
the devil got the perfect setup because he could take one person and have him rapping crazy, and make millions of dollars. But from that one person, you can have millions of people. Some maybe have living that life, the other half not living it, but they perpetrating it. So now they creating more people who might be living it. So it's like he got the perfect setup. It's like we can make one of y'all rich, and then the rest of y'all will just fall to the wayside. You know what I'm saying? Out of that
Right.
1 million, we'll pick 3 more, and we get to do it all over again. It's
Yep.
just crazy.
And it's crazy because you could actually like see it happening in real time, like the devil just pulling these guys back. I remember like I was a big Young Boy fan, like when I was like into music, and
Oh, for real?
I remember Young Boy coming out, and this was like actually kind of recent, so like I haven't been listening to him, but he was like, I'm gonna go no violent. Like I don't like that. Like my music's pushing kids to like do drugs and stuff. Like it's so evil. Like I need to start rapping about like peaceful things. And then what happened? Like it never happened. And I'm like,
Yeah, I knew it was cat when he was saying it anyway.
yeah, it's like, dude, these guys like they just I don't know. It's just it's sad. And Ali Choppa did the same thing. He made like 2 songs about like peace or whatever, and then next thing you know, he's rapping about killing again. And I'm like, okay, like you
Yeah, I
get like
think
it's
they just don't
obviously
really. Maybe I guess it's the fear of the Lord thing. They just don't fear it. I don't know
yeah.
what it is, man. I don't know, but and I know
It,
we can't stop everybody. So I really be in my own bubble trying to do the things that God want me to do and reach who I can reach. Like I already understand I can't reach everybody, but
right.
some people I can. So I just be trying to focus on that.
And that's the best way to do it. That's why when people talk about like everyone's so focused on following and all these things, and I'm like, but the truth is it comes down to how many of those souls are you affecting, right? Like you could have 2 million followers but never guide a soul anywhere, right? But
Right.
you could have 800 followers, 500 followers and be guiding 25 people, right? Like if you're real, if you it's like if you're real and you're really saying the things that matter,
Right.
that's what it comes down to. And I think everyone's so caught up, like social media has made it easier for us to like get the word out, but it's also made people get so like like fulfilled, like so high on themselves, right? Like we're at a point now where like you see Christian influencers and stuff that just like they're so high on themselves, and like I saw like a thing recently about even like pastors that like they won't give a speech unless you pay me $25,000, and
Yeah.
it's like it's like what is
it's
that?
it's I don't know, bro. God is. I feel like we be talking like every day. So the same way we having this conversation right now, I feel like I be having these thoughts in my mind. I just be talking to God about stuff like this, and I look at the worst of the worst, which I would consider probably what happened to Jesus. You know what I mean? Maybe, and it's like, what else would I don't expect anything else. So it's like when pastors be doing the stuff they be doing, people be it's like I really honestly don't expect nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
people, even though people walk with Christ, they still be people. So it's like I might have my opinion on it, but lately he's been working on me as far as not saying what I feel all the time. It just because I might
right.
be judging, you know what I'm saying? Like falsely judging them and stuff. So I just
Yeah.
really been learning how to shut up and say what he want me to say. You know what I'm saying?
No, I totally agree. I think that's the best way to do it so you're not bearing false witness. And that's why, like, for me, when people say, like, can you tell me, like, directly people that do this, people that do this? And I'm like, I don't, when you start saying names, you're going to be held accountable. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like like, you can't just start throwing stuff out there because, like, you feel like social
Right.
media can make it very easy for things to be distorted, right? So unless you really know the answer, it's a dangerous game to start playing if you just start calling
Yeah.
names out, and that's why I think but I think there are certain things where it's like there's certain people where you can really just judge by the fruit, right? Like Joel Olstein and people like that. Like it's like
Yeah.
you see these guys like selling all their merch and books at church and stuff. And
Word.
it's like I don't, and they're worth like $15 million, and it's like I don't inherently think money is bad if you're using it for good purposes, but you also have to be getting it for good purposes, right? Like
Right.
if you're misusing church funds, if you're like basically bribing your people to like give you money, it's kind of like that's I don't even if you use it for good, you're getting it inherently bad. It's a thin line that you're walking on there.
Nah,
So
yeah, I definitely I get it, and some when I be talking, because some of the people that's in my circle, like Marcus and like Live and them, I always, whenever I feel something about something, I go to somebody with it and just get what they be thinking out of it. And like when I first became a Christian, like I honestly didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't even really know how it worked, like other than just like reading the Bible and stuff. So naturally, I started seeing what everybody else was doing. You know what I'm saying? And thinking,
Mhm.
okay, I gotta do this too. So if I disagree with LGBTQ, I should make a video about it. So I literally start doing that. But God was just like, that's not what I want you to do. So I only said that to say, I think like as far as it being a body of Christ, everybody got to play a different position. So it might be some people who God really is telling to get on here and be bold and say this and do this and do that. But
Mhm.
He told me early on, that's not what I want you to do. Like I think it's pretty clear right now to me that the two things God been talking to me about every day was getting my own home in order. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Before I get out here and try to, make sure everybody else good with God. Like, what about the people I'm around every day, like family and stuff? So that's one thing. And the other thing is just I need to actually make music for him every day and like put the music out because I'll go a week or two without making a song and it's kind of no excuse because he got my life set up in a way where I got plenty of time to make music for the
Right.
Lord. So
And
that's really what my focus is. I feel like he got me focused on doing that.
that's good that you brought up family because with everything that's going on, the most important thing is keeping your family aligned, right? Like that's what at the end of the day, there's two things that are most important to a man and woman: fatherhood and motherhood, right? Like that's like the core of everything because like raising children is like our main job, right? Like reproduction, raising them to be followers of Christ. So
Right.
like it's good to save souls outside of home. Like obviously we're told to preach the gospel to the entire world, but keeping your home in order, I'm glad you said that because that is like the
Yeah.
most important thing. Like everyone needs to remember that. Like your home, your family is so important because as parents and like guardian, like you are the image to your children. You are like everything they see, right? You're their role
Right.
model. You're everything. So
And perspective wise too, because just because you only preaching to the people in your house don't mean you still not preaching to the world because just like it started with Marcus and me, you know what I'm saying, or Marcus talking to me, or being, it's Marcus having me be a part of it. Now it does spread it to my wife. Now it spreads from my wife
yep,
to her people at her salon. Then it spreads to me and the artists that I'm around. Then I talk to my son about it. I talk to my daughter. My daughter talking people out of killing themselves. She only like 12. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
just mentioning Jesus to them and stuff. So even if you're just doing it in the house, you can't like not think that it's not spreading to the world anyway. You know what I'm saying?
exactly right. Because you create one follower, that follower is doing the same thing, right? I want to say it's like Mark 16:15, but I could be wrong on that. But to spread the gospel to the entire world, and it's like but you do that, but if you do that within your household and inherently that's going out further, right? Because your kids are
Right.
at school, you're not at the school, right? But your kids are, so they're affecting kids around them in school. You're doing it in your job and in people you're working with. Like it just, it's a
Yeah,
domino
that's the
effect.
only
It
way
keeps
it can
spreading.
work though, for real. So
Yeah.
either way, I guess the whole overall thing about it is just preach the gospel wherever you at.
I, honestly, it's that was the big step for me was like how I had this like itching feeling and it was like I just don't know like I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? It was like I need to like say something and like I'm on a college campus, so it's you can only imagine like
Yeah.
what I'm seeing on a daily basis like but the thing is there's 50,000 kids too. So it's like it's not like I'm seeing a lot of the same people all the time. So it's like it's a constant battle in my brain because I'm like I feel like I should be saying something, but then like sometimes I'm sitting there like there's 15 people like I like standard like what do I you know what I mean? Like how do I go about this?
Yo,
Like that's what I've been talking with God. It's like
I think because I ain't gonna lie, I feel like I would be a good evangelist because I know how to like for some reason I just know how to talk to people about it. You know what I'm saying? But I be in the airport sometimes and I literally feel like God be saying like, yo, go tell her this or go tell this person that. And I get tense and scared to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's really a point in my life I'm trying to get over right now. Like
yeah, me too.
I I had the courage to do it like maybe like 3 times in my life. And I'm not talking about like, somebody and y'all just having a conversation. I'm talking about like a random person. So
Yeah.
it's like I was at
Mm-hmm.
7-Eleven the other day, and I looked at this girl that worked there, and I just was like, I feel like God want me to say something to her, but I got scared and I just left the store. But it's like he would not let me leave without telling her. You know what I'm saying? So I literally had to go to the store and get like my whole little spill. Like, hey, look, I don't mean to come off weird. You know what I'm saying? But God says He's with you. For some reason, that's what He wanted her to know. You know what I'm saying?
And
And I
that's the
don't
seed.
know, I don't know what it did for her life or whatever. But I went back in the store today, and she was like, "Oh, you the dude." You know what I'm saying? And it's just something like I know I wasn't tripping. I know she going through something and it's not my business, but God just wanted me to let her know that He's with her in this situation. I don't know what it was though.
Dude, see that? That's like so inspiring, and it's so hard sometimes. You know what I mean? Because like I'm in that same, but for me, it's more like seeing people doing degenerate actions, and I'm like I like warning them that it's wrong, but it's like that's it. I don't know what it is. It's not like I know we don't have a spirit of fear, and I don't necessarily think it's fear. It's just people's reactions. You know what I mean? Like when you tell someone what they're doing is wrong nowadays, like you never
Yeah,
know what's gonna go down. A lot of times it's intoxicated people and stuff. So it's like I
but
it's not a spirit of fear, but it's like what do you say to someone like that? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna
It's
give
like
you this because I don't think I mean I know we're supposed to tell people what they're doing wrong, but I think it's a matter of how you do it too,
yes,
because
exactly.
this is what one of the like because I look at Jesus and his parables how I look at music and punchlines. Like you say something that means something else. You know what I'm saying? So when I think about being a light in this world, the main thing that like the parable that I came with in my own mind was I remember like getting up for school in the morning when it's pitch black in the room and then your mom cut on the light and it's like like what, like you know what I'm saying, you're like who cut on the light. So I feel
Yeah.
like in your situation being that you're around so much darkness, like maybe all you have to do is just be light in the situation. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because like once you cut the light on, you can actually see what's going on in the room. You're like, oh, cut it on. And then you vision get a little clear. You start saying it's your mom and all that. So it's like maybe you could just be the light in the situation so they can start realizing like, you know what I mean? They can see on their own what they doing wrong. Because just telling somebody is you are gonna argue every single time.
Right.
I learned that the hard way.
Honest to God, I think that you couldn't have said it better. Because that's what I've been doing. It's like I stopped like saying like talking all the time, and I've just been trying to walk it. You know what I mean? Like walk it, show that like you have this ability. And it's been I've actually like I've had people reach out to me generally and be like, that's what's helped me. It's like seeing that you've overcome so much, I can do the same. And
Right.
and it's usually people close to me. Like I had a family member reach out to me very recently, bought his first Bible, was like, hey, even like I'm giving up drinking, like move it on to the next thing. And my other buddy's like, hey, I've been getting back into prayer. My headspace is better. So like that's the stuff that keeps me going. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like just hearing that, I'm like, okay, is as much hate as I get, it's like those two people, especially a family member, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
those are the people that like, you know, it's so hard to watch like not do the right thing, right? Like these are the people you like you're closest with, right? So like hearing that was like, I gotta keep going. Like I just gotta stay strong. I gotta keep moving and to the end. Like that's just been me, dude. And it's like I'm still growing as a person, right? Like I'm not like 100% perfect, but every day I'm getting closer and closer to walking just like Jesus, right? Like, you
Right.
know, like be perfect as my father in heaven. Like it's just like getting to that, like elevating myself every single day. And it's like,
Yeah, that's what I like about Christianity myself. Like, because God just, I don't know how to call it. I don't know what season I would call it. And I don't know how long these seasons last, but I've been in this season for like 8 months. I don't know if I'm stuck because I'm not being all the way obedient or it's more to learn here. But my life with him literally is like, it's like, okay, I don't condemn or feel condemned like when I do stuff wrong because I know that's not what he want me to feel. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like I actually feel bad when I do something wrong that I'm not supposed to be doing.
yeah,
And it's like I know a lot of people think about Christianity or they think about Christians in the sense that we supposed to represent like supposed to be perfect. It's like, nah, I don't think the thing is for us to be perfect, but we at least have a perfect standard to compare ourselves to.
Yeah.
So when I do something wrong, it's like it's no longer like, nah, bro, you just smoking a cigarette. It's like, nah, the Holy Spirit living in you and you're smoking a cigarette. That's like a whole different type of
Right.
like conviction, or it's like a different type of way of thinking. Like I don't know how to explain like what the Bible actually did to my mind, but I prefer it over anything because now even when I yell at my kids, like I like I literally go in the car and think like, yo, what could you have done? Like, do God yell at you like that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I
Yeah.
just love the way God got me thinking because I'm so not focused on everything else that's going on. Like there's things going on in my life right now that was going on in the secular music world, like as far as people hating and people getting on podcasts still talking crazy about me and stuff. Back then I would entertain this stuff, but now it's like all I can think about is God and the last thing I did and how can I do better moving forward. And you know what I'm saying? It's like he
Yeah.
has my whole entire mind captured. And even though it sounds like a lot, I'm at peace with this over here instead of having a lot over here and going crazy, ready to kill myself. That's how
Right.
it was for me, like for real. Like every day just not feeling like nobody loved me or nothing. But it's like over here, I'll take all of this before I get any of that. I don't even want any of that on the other side.
I think what it is, I think it's all like I think Christianity as a whole is like here, right? Like it's like what do you desire and is your mind renewed, right? Like I think that's what it really comes down to is like are you focused on God? Like that's what it is. That's why like Matt in Matthew, you know, when he says when he talks about like I never knew you. Like that like knew is such an important word because it's like that like connection, right? It's not like it's not like being a part of a church. It's like you are connected, right? Like you have that renewal of
Right.
the mind. That's what repentance is. And like that, like you just said, like I don't desire that anymore. I'm over here. Like that's what Christianity is. It's like you're striving you're striving for perfection, right? Like that's what you
Right.
like you have the man, right? God, you have Jesus, right? Like he's perfection. It's like how can I be like more like him every day, right? Like how can I get to that? And it's like obviously we've all fallen short of the glory of God, but he's the image that we need to try to make ourselves, right? Like we should be more
Yeah.
Christ-like. And I think that's just like it just pushes me every single day to be better and better and better and better. And it's like because then you start to catch things that like you never even understood like where like my lack of forgiveness like my whole life. It's like I've been just so much more like just to forgive like I don't hold grudges. Like it's not worth it. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
just that like I didn't even realize like growing up like that's a problem, right? Like like when you're like younger and like you the only like sinning to you is like alcohol, drugs, and
Right.
like that's it, right? Like, you don't even think about all the other stuff. And then you start reading and it's like, like God's mad at someone for like, like the one lie, and you're like, oh my, like I've lied so many, like you know what I mean? You're like, you really
Yeah.
start to renew your mind and be like, there's so much like
And
there's
when
just
you
so much
dig
more.
deeper, when you dig even deeper, that's what makes me know. Like I was thinking about this in the car. For some reason, I do these interviews beforehand in the car, and it's like naturally you're just saying everything to line up with everything I'm trying to say. But the thing is, to me, like with the Bible, it's literally like a heartbeat in the Bible, right? And whoever heart is beating loves people like so much, and it's so deep. So it's like, because I was just thinking about this yesterday when we was supposed to do it yesterday. One of the things I said in my mind yesterday was how I understand how people don't see why God see murder and a lie as the same. But when you like for real, when you lie to somebody, you could tell a lie to somebody right now that can come out later on, and you can literally murder them in the spirit. Like you can kill them in the
Yeah.
spiritual realm. So it's like that's probably why God sees the act of it, like the real thing, and lying as the same thing. Because somebody can be walking around like dead mentally, like for years. You know what I'm saying? Just stuck in depression, just stuck in like all type of things, bro. So it's like, yeah, a lie is. I see why he looked at it just like murder, and then you start thinking, dang, how many people I killed? You know what I'm saying? Like in the
Yeah.
spiritual realm, like
That
that's
dude, it's like it's actually a complete transformation. And it's like once you understand that, you start like seeing things so differently. Like things that you never even saw as a problem, like simple lies, but it's like that simple lie is like so much more like to God than like any like it's crazy. It's like you just you don't that's why you gotta read the book. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's why
Because
we gotta get to a
you
point.
can't claim to be a good person if you lie to somebody. You just can't. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Lies might seem simple, but man, I'm telling you, man, when I got into reading the Bible, bro, my mind was like gone. Because now I'm thinking, like, dang, all the friends I had, are we really friends? Because all we did was lie to each other like our whole life. Some things we said were true, but if everything we said to each other wasn't absolute truth, then we're not as good to each other as we claim we were. Like
Right.
my mind was going crazy. I'm like, and then what I love about it is it don't matter how far you dig deep with the Bible, the stuff that it says is true. Even if it's not true, it's true. Like in real life, in real
Yeah.
time, when you apply the things that's said to your situation, is true. It always comes out on top as the best advice you can possibly find. And
Yes.
that's what let me know that either God is real and he made all this Bible, biblical Jesus stuff happen, or somebody is smart and was way ahead of their time to write a
Yeah.
text that long ago that's still making people cry and change their life to this day.
Right. And that's what I try to explain. Like, cause I have like I forget the word, like people that are spiritual but don't like believe in God. Is it like agnostic? Is that I think that's
Yeah.
the word.
I don't even be getting into all those stuff like that.
Yeah, and like, but like you gotta understand, like on a college campus, I have a whole
Right.
array of like what you can believe. Okay, like there's every type of belief on this in this place.
I
Okay,
can imagine, bro.
and and you be getting people that be like, yeah, like I love the Bible, like the advice is so good, like I like pieces of it, but like I'm agnostic, so I don't believe in like that God. And I'm like that doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
Like to like you like you're feeding for a higher being, but you just don't want to have to follow everything that it says. So you're like, yeah, like you want to say you believe in a God, so like by some chance you might go to heaven. That's basically what it is. And I'm like, you're there, like you're so close. You just got to take a little step up, just a little step further. You know what I mean? It's like that's why we need to get people is like to understand that you can overcome things and like you can
Yeah.
be better. And it's like I think that's people's biggest fear is like if they pick up the Bible, they're gonna have to change their life, right? Like that's really what it comes down to. When you start reading that book, it's impossible to stay the way you are. It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's like
And I
it's
think I feel like God was just telling me something again. It's like for me, like people, how can I put it? Like I think about like heaven, right? And heaven, of course, is the ultimate goal. But in all honesty, like I feel like I'll be thankful for heaven when it get there. So when it comes to like blessings and stuff, I don't even ask God for anything because for more than anything, bro, I'm thankful that I actually can wake up and think the way I think, even if it's challenging. You know what I'm saying? Like
mhm,
as a person that was suicidal, like, and I never actually like cut myself or nothing, but the thoughts was definitely there. Like it would be nights I would be in the garage or in the driveway, and I got the gun and the glove part. I'm just really thinking about doing it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I'm free from thinking like that, and I can't think of nothing else that I could ever be more thankful for right now. It's like when I get to heaven and see everything, if I even get there, you know what I'm saying? I'll be
right,
thankful, but right now, not wanting to think about killing myself for a year is crazy to me. You know what I'm saying?
right,
When I've been thinking about it for most of my whole life. So it's like I'm just thankful for where he has me at right now. What he has for me will come to me when he's ready. What happened to me is my fault and everyone else's. So I can't blame or hold anything. I'm just in this moment right now trying to do
right,
whatever he's telling me to do right now. And I think this is the most freedom like I ever had in my life. You know what I'm saying? Even when stuff go wrong, I don't respond how I used to. It's like, yo, for whatever reason, God letting the water flow through the ceiling. Like, I got a big hole in my roof, but it's like, usually I would be like, down, like, damn, I gotta take this money and I ain't got it. But it's like, man, for whatever reason, God let it's happening. So I just love the space that I'm in right now. Like, I would never trade it. It's no other religion. Like, there's nothing that can come down and say whatever to me to make me not know that Christianity is the truth.
Right, dude. That's awesome. I think like that's literally the best way you can put it, because it's like it you're like content, right? Like not content like that you don't like you're happy knowing that like your steps are established from now on, and like where you're at is good. Right? There's a reason why you are where you are. It's not like there's no reason to worry about it. Like
Right.
that's like it's dude, it's so beautiful, and I just don't think people understand that. It's like people see it as like a chore, but it's like so
Right.
much less than a chore. Like it takes so many chores off your life, actually. Like that's what
Yeah.
it really does. Like you start reducing chores, because it's like, bro, somebody's gonna guide you through it. Somebody's going to, like, the higher being that has full control over the universe is like establishing your steps. So like,
Right.
wouldn't that be less of a chore? Like that's how I see it. Is like it's less of a chore. Like I just got to do what I feel called to do, and my steps are established. Right? Like that's
Right.
it.
And I know I don't know if I speak for everybody, but I know for me, I don't care how mad somebody get. I'm going to talk about Jesus. Like, and if you
Amen.
knew me before now, I would not talk about this at all. So it's like, I know people be like, man, I just want them to shut up about Jesus. Like, I'm just tired of hearing it. But if you knew how free it feels to be free every day, how could you not talk about Jesus like every day if that's what freed you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so it's like I get people don't want to hear it, but I'm not out here in this mall stopping you, telling you that God love you for no reason. I could be at home doing anything else.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, people
like
think it's like some fun stuff. Like we
yeah,
just
like
out there
it got to
like
be a serious thing. Like I don't have nothing I want from you to be stopping you, talking to you, or I don't have the only reason I could be possibly posting this much about Jesus or making song after song after song. But it has to be a reason. And you know what I'm saying? You gotta ask yourself, and that's why I think we're supposed to be the light in the situations that we are in, because the people who knew you and they see you talking different, thinking different, moving different, it's gonna make them question things. You know what I'm saying? And I think
that.
it all starts with questioning. That's how it happened for me. It's like, what if this is real? You know what I'm saying?
That's
That's how I start
that's
reading the Bible.
that's 100% what it is. It's the people that knew you, and they see this like insane change out of you, and they're like, it's got to be real. Because like
Yeah.
people are so caught up in the idea that they can't overcome what they are. Like the world tells you everything's an addiction. What nothing you can do, right? Like you're addicted. It's like that's it. They just throw addiction on everything, and then everyone's like, I'm addicted. That's it. I'm just an addict, and they
Yeah.
don't think there's any way to overcome it. And when people see you overcome like 7 things in a week, they're like, "How? Like,
Yeah.
did you hire a therapist?" I'm like, "Well, it's a free one. It's a
Kinda.
free one.
Right.
It's a very easy. It's free. You just gotta connect with them. Through prayers. It's a beautiful thing, but people just don't understand that. And I'm like, it's actually insane the like effect it can have on you. And like you said, I mean, it can free you from any bondage, right? Like it doesn't like it's anything. It doesn't matter. Like you could be on the brink of suicide and be saved, right? Like it's like
Yeah.
there's no situation that is like out out of the hand, right? And it's like just like people don't understand that. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah, and what's even more crazy is the only as even since babies, the only way we can know how to do is to be influenced by something. Like we can
Hmm.
only you don't just hop out making something totally completely brand new. You can only be influenced. So even at that point, it's like why not be influenced by God, like Himself? You know what I'm saying? Like because whenever we make decisions, we go to friends, we might go to the teacher for the decision. You go to everybody else, like because that's our interaction with everyone else is it's like this feed in, feedback type of format. But with God, it's like you could just feed directly from Him. Like I would rather somebody tell me the truth all the time than somebody to lie to make me feel better.
Yeah, and that's what you get from the world is a lot of lying and a lot of try to make you feel good type things. Because the truth is, the whole idea of Satan is to keep you comfortable in your sin. Like that is the objective, because sin inherently takes you away from God, right? So like the best thing he can do is make you comfortable with it, right?
All
It's
right.
like, so in the end, it's like when you like that's the biggest thing, is when people understand that like the good versus evil thing, and that like there actually is a spiritual battle going on. You understand why the things in the world happen, and like why you're battling these things, why like the Hollywood is the way it is, why the media, like it makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
And it's like, for me, it was like God just just pulled the veil over my eyes one day, and it was like, wow.
Right.
It was like that's, but like he'll do it for you too. He'll do it for anybody, right? It's just like you just have to
Yeah.
show that like you want it, right?
It's like
Like
everything got a reason,
right.
and
Like
it makes sense all the way around to me.
it's like there's so much symbolism and stuff. It's like, you stop believing in coincidences. You start to see like, okay, like we really are in a battle, and like if you're on the wrong side of this battle, unfortunately, you've already lost, right? Like you can't. Like
Yeah.
the victory's already set, and I think I just
It's
it's
painful too to watch it now. Like to watch, like even when I get on Facebook and I just see what they be talking about, I just like, dang, like I wish they would entertain the gospel a little more than they entertain something else. Because you could just see it now. You can see when people not free. You know what I'm saying? Even through the stuff that they post, and it's like, dang, I know you're going through something right now, but you could really be like joyful right now. You could really have peace right now, and I literally
right.
want that for everybody.
And
What
these
I know this is your podcast, but what got you into doing podcast?
I love talking. Okay. And like, I don't know. I think I love music was my favorite thing growing up. And I love talking. And I was like, how do I blend the two? Let's talk to music artists on podcast.
All
And
right.
I also was like, I think I like, I love the industry. And like, I want more people to know what's out there. And I'm like, we got to create platforms, right? Like we all got to work together. Like I'm a big, if you've seen if you watch any of the podcasts, I talk about unity in the spirit so much, because I like actually think it's so important, and we kind of struggle as Christians to have unity because of all these denominations and everything. And I'm just like, unity is so important. Like if we could all work together, like that's God puts Christians everywhere, right? Like we got people everywhere in every industry. It's like if we all work together, we would be so powerful. You know what I mean? And we really would be able to elevate each other. And like I think, if we like create like independent media is like really growing, right? Like we're seeing a huge decline in cable media, and everyone's moving to independent media. So it's like if we kind of just start pushing into independent media, and then also bringing in music artists and entrepreneurs like onto these platforms, it helps. We're working together, right? And I think for me, that's just like what I felt called to do, is like really just help elevate Christians in different areas. And for
Yeah.
me, I'm so interested in music that like music was the first thing I went to. Is like I love to talk to these artists, because like I think like it's been my dream. Really, music was me. So coming out
Right.
of it and seeing that it's here, and like the idea that like I had no clue for so long that like all this was out there. It's like we really like, I think that was just like us, like God signing me that like, hey, we need people, we need these voices elevated. Like this is what we need. Like we got to combat. We can't just complain about the media. We can't just complain about social media. We got to take those things over, right? Like we gotta find the solution.
Yeah.
And I think the solution is just speaking, talking, like we're having a free flowing conversation right now. You know what I mean? Like that's like
Yeah.
it's a real conversation, real people just talking. And instead of like all the phony stuff you see on TV, it's like, that's what people want. They want the real stuff. And like, I know, because that was me. Like when I was coming into Christianity, it was like, I just want to hear somebody real, right? Like, I just want to hear
Right.
somebody real talking, because everybody a Christian, right? Like everybody a Christian until the Bible gets pulled out. And then it's like, I want to listen to somebody that could have talked to me when the Bible pulled out, right? Like and it was
Yeah.
like, I struggled for so long to find that. And, podcasting felt like just it was so free, right? Like I didn't need to. I have no restrictions. I have no buddy on top of me. Like I just reach out to people, have these conversations, and whoever's willing. The only disadvantage is like I'm not like some like big like content creator, right? So like getting artists is not as easy as it may sound. But
Yeah, I already know. I know because
but
Legend my manager, so he kind of do the
yeah,
same thing. And I mean, we talked about stuff like this before. Um, I feel like whenever y'all run into stuff like that, not I don't want to judge anyone or say anything, but my thing is whatever whatever you're trying to gain out of doing a certain person's show because of who they is, I feel like that's already in the way of that's already you putting something else before God. Because even if one person watches, y'all still could be saving that one person just by having the conversation.
right, right.
Unless you're just that busy where you can't, set out an hour to talk on the podcast about God, because you never know, like whatever this is, it may blow up tomorrow. Like who
Right.
knows? You know what I'm saying? So I don't think numbers should be a reason why you say, yeah, I'm gonna talk about God or not. It kind of in the same lane of that $10,000. I'm not coming to preach if you don't pay me this type of money.
Yeah,
Thing. Like, yo,
exactly.
if you doing it for God, like you have to take the money off of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless
And
I gotta pay, like you saying, like, yeah, I need you to pay me $250 to be up here. That might be different because I might
yeah,
can't afford it. But I'm just saying,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
that's what I'm
It
saying.
always
I'm
rubbed me
not.
the wrong way when he used to tell me, like, based on his following, certain Christians don't want to do the interview. I'm like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and actually I want to say I want to shout out King Legend because he's been awesome. Like when I was coming into the podcasting realm, I just reached out. I was like, hey, this dude's got a podcast that resembles a lot like what I had going into mine. I DM'd him. I was like, hey, I'm getting started in the realm, looking for some guidance. Like, how's the best way to get started? What platforms are you using? Nothing but a blessing. So
Or
King Legend's been he's been awesome in that way. And it's like that's what I'm saying though. It's other Christians helping other Christians. Like he could have easily been like, yo, you're coming into my industry. Like, no. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. It's like we not seeing like as Christians, we need to stop seeing each other as competitors and like actually work together. That's our problem. Is like everybody's so number and money focused. It's inherently the problem. And it's like, why can't we all work together for the greater good? Because King Led, yeah, I mean, pride's like literally running rampant among these people, and that's like, again, I don't want to bear false witness, but it's like there are people that like I've reached out to, and it just had like it's 100% number based, and I'm like how are we supposed to like,
yeah,
you
they
know what I
treat the
mean? Like,
gospel like it's the industry.
yeah, I'm like, how are we supposed to like elevate each other? Like, I don't know, man. It's because the truth is like even these guys that like because like again like I'm in like okay these guys right like music artists like a lot of these music artists their goal is to reach 16 to 25-year-olds. It's just right like that's like the music they're making. That's the goal. Okay.
Right.
And I'm hearing this music and I'm like, but ain't there nobody 16 to 25 really knows it, right? Like I'm on the scene. I'm at a college campus, right? Like it's a Big Ten school. Like I'm around a lot of kids, okay? And like nobody knows it, right? And I'm thinking like this is the like even though you got 100,000 followers, you're missing your main dynamic. And I'm like, we can work together and make this happen. You know what I mean? Like where
Right.
we can really start reaching these people that need it the most. The people that need it, I'm telling you, are the people here. Like it's what helped me. And like music's influencing people so much here. It's like everywhere, right? Like it's
Right.
literally everywhere on this campus. And I'm like, if we could get these guys like moving in there, we would have we're affecting people's lives and it's helping us unite, right? Like you're saving souls and uniting. And it's like this has like been on my mind for so long, dude. Like it's like the reason I'm doing this. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I don't understand why we can't do that. Like
Yeah,
why
when you think about it, when you think about it, their overall goal has to be higher than God's overall goal. All right, because All right, for one, we Christians, we both trying to preach the same thing, both trying to get out here and ultimately save souls. So like, even if you got 500,000 followers and I only got 500, if you were trying to benefit me as a Christian so I could continue spreading the gospel, it would be no problem. But your goal clearly is you put it above God's goal because you're looking at the situation and saying, well, I don't get nothing out of it, so I'm not going to do it. But it's literally like, bro, I'm Christian just like you. We're trying to spread the gospel. So even if you do got this many, help me bring mine up so we can reach more people.
That's inherently what it is. And I think for me, it's because like I have friends. I actually had a friend reach out to me like 2 days ago. I did an interview with Brett. You know Brett Rayo?
Yeah.
So I did an interview with Brett, and I just posted it. And like one of my buddies was I'm feeling like he got 20 minutes in. He's like, bro, I'm already like mind blown. I'm like, do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Brett didn't have to do it, right? But it's like one person was affected by that video. That's one more soul that had a seed planted in him, right?
Right.
It's like, and like that's the goal. It's like that's fine. I'm happy. We made a video.
Yeah.
I made a video with Brett. One person had a seed planted. Boom. That's amazing. And
But
it's like
the thing about the Bible is that one seed always produce a lot. So just like we was saying when we went back to me only focusing on the house, we might plant that one seed in my son, but that one seed about to like grow mad crazy. So even if it's just one, you don't know. Like y'all might transform that dude. Like he might be so on fire, he just go around saving. Like you know what I'm saying? Like so it's like even though it's one, y'all probably just reach like 1,000 people in the next 10 years, maybe 1 million, depending on what the person do with the seed y'all planted. So we cannot get too caught up in numbers, bro. Like because all it takes is one.
And that's what people think. They think of following as the amount of saves you're saving, their souls you're saving. Sorry, it's like that's not that is not what it is, right? It's like it's when you have a direct impact, something you're saying, something you're showing as a direct impact, and it's like a lot of times, bro, followers honestly are just people like, oh, cool video, follow, right? Or like, I heard a cool song by them, or I saw them on you know what I mean? It's like, but they never connect them back, right? And it's like those people that really want to connect, and like these are the ways that you connect with artists, right? Like you can connect to an artist with music, but you never see the other side, right? Like you don't know like really how they feel and how they live it. And it's like this is the opportunity for the artist to really showcase who they are. And it's an opportunity for me to get those artists out, like to show that they're out there. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know if we could just like just wish we could work together. And I've always thought about like in the future, like I think like even just a podcast network, like that's even one more way to unite. Like get 5 or 6 podcasters or like guys that have shows and bring them together on one network, right? And like that just creates.
Right, bro. I like where your heart at for real. Like to be honest, like I actually do like where your heart is at because, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, none of us has a pedestal that we can stand on that'll put us higher than the next person. Like we really don't.
Yeah.
So everything that's in a way is in a way. Like even when it comes to theology and like religious people and like all of us need the same thing that we all needed before we knew we needed it. So it's like let's just do whatever we gotta do to give it to people. Like we can make up every reason to disagree. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we still need God's love. Like we need Jesus's love. Like period. So it's like I just because I never thought about it how you were saying it until you make it make sense. Like a person with 500K can literally bring you up. You know what I'm saying? But if they're not looking at a way to further the overall Christianity in all, they're going to make decisions how they make them based on numbers. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's like you might as well. It's only pride or it's only you feeling like you did something. And even the Bible says like you can't boast about nothing. It's I that doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you really can't boast about anything at all.
No.
Like, that's what keep me humble personally. And I wish everybody was like that because what you saying makes sense, bro. We really should be out here with, and I think our unity can be working together, but at the same time, I can go to this corner of the store and you can go to this corner of the store and we still spreading that one love. So we still in unity, even though we're separate. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, but it's if our pride wasn't in the way, it'd be easy to spread Christianity, I think, throughout all places. I really honestly think that if we all
I
just like, yo, we need to go out here and be light in the world. Like, we can't be light to each other if we showing darkness by arguing over little like theology. And I hate them arguments. I enjoy watching them, but I just don't get it. It's like, all right, we can agree to disagree on whatever it is, but we don't really gotta bash each other for real, because now we looking foolish out here for real.
Yeah, dude, yeah, you're speaking exactly what I'm out here thinking. Because I'm like, I don't understand why we gotta have like, why we gotta like it. You've like God is like you're in the Christian space, right? So like inherent, like it is literally God elevating you, right? And it's like, how have you gotten to a point where you're so prideful? Like, but it's God's hand literally just pulling you up, right? You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like, we're nothing. Like, it's
right.
literally hit like every talent you have, every blessing you have came from up there. So it's like, why are you so prideful? And it's like, it kills me inside. 'Cause it's like, and again, I'm not like, I forgive people. Like, I'm like, you know what? I'll pray that like you come out of it, your pride
Yeah,
and whatever. But it's like, I'm never gonna argue. I'm never gonna like, I'm just gonna move on. Like I asked, I move on. But it's
yeah.
like,
It's just
but it's
clear
like,
the mission ain't winning souls. The mission was something else. And like you
yeah,
said, don't judge them, but we still are observing what's going on. Like, we can't just act like we didn't see. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
but I get what you're saying though. Like, respect them, pray for them and stuff. And that's I don't know, for me as an artist, that's one thing. Like, when I was saying, heaven is the out when I get to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, I'm just focused on the goal. Like, as an artist, I don't like, God don't have to blow my music up, bro. It's like people DM me about not killing themselves. I'm cool. I feel like that's treasure in heaven. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
he doesn't have to blow me up. That's why I appreciate, like, even when like I don't know how to explain it. Even you talking, opening up about how you feel about the music stuff. I don't really talk to people in person about their reaction to my music. Like, I just make the music. I say what's real to me. Like, so if I'm
yeah,
smoking weed, I might say it in the song. I might not boast about it like I want people to do it, but I already made up my mind in my music, bro. I can't lie about nothing that I can't lie to God about. You know what I'm saying? So if
right.
it come out, it come out. But I literally just I really feel like my only purpose with my music is to reach the people that's ready to kill themselves. Like, because that's what it was for me. And I know how serious that is. I've been around situations where people actually did it, and I've seen how it affected family. I've seen how it affected me. And if it's affected me, it gotta affect my children. It gotta affect the way I look at my wife. It gotta affect the way I'm performing at work. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Right.
like, a simple switch in the mind of just reading the Bible can change everything for you. So it's like, he can never blow me up, bro. As long as I get them type of messages, I know I'm doing something right. Like, even on my worst days, people will send me messages like, yo, you don't understand. This just happened at the kiosk. I played your music, demons manifested, and the whole time I'm sitting here feeling like worthless, like, because I done did something bad. You know what I'm saying? But that's like God saying, like, yo, I know you messing up, but I can still use you. You get what I'm saying? Like, stop focusing on what you're doing wrong, and let's focus on doing this. We need to make some more music. We need to help save more people. So it's
Right.
like,
It's the and like that's why I brought it up at the beginning too, was like, because your music is like that. Like, it actually is touching, right? Like you could listen to Christian music sometimes and they say a lot, but you don't feel a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's
right,
there's there's artists you can like the way your music's set up is kind of like what you said. Like, it's like that. Like, it's like that. It's like the blessed version of like Juice World, right? Like, somebody that like Juice World keeps you in your depressed state. You're like, like, we're coming out of this. You know what I'm saying? You're the positive. Like, you're like, it's that, at least like with this album is how I saw it. It's like, it's a more like chilled out, and it's like I like guard your soul. You know what I mean? It's like, I just need you to pray, right? Like you're
yeah,
good. I can guard your soul. I just need you to pray. I can get you out of like that's like what I feel with it. And it's like,
you hit it
I
on
don't
the head, bro. I don't know. God must have set this conversation up. I'm trying to tell you,
yeah.
man. Like, for real, bro. Because that's one thing I always thought about Rod Wave. when people ask him about used to like his music, it's like it's good, but he like walks you down this dark road and he literally just
Yes,
leaves you there.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like he just
Yeah.
like we will walk down here and we think about everything that happened and then boom, I'm gone. We'll just leave you here, go to the next song. We still in this dark place. And before I gave my life to God, bro, I always was making music from a depressed state about what I want, you know what I'm saying? How I want to feel, how
Hmm.
who I think I should be treated like, even though the world isn't giving me that, but this is what I think. So it kind of always soothes people a little. Like my music had the same effect, but with God in the mix, it's like, okay, now we got the medicine for it at this time now too. So it's like it just was like the perfect blend. Like one of my homies was trying to talk to me. He was like, "Man, I think you should make music for God, but I don't think you should make every song about God." He was like, because the music you made before it's still positive, it's still this. And I'm like, yo, you think about it, my music only make people comfortable being depressed because
Yeah.
it's like okay, somebody else feel the way I feel. This might keep me alive for a little bit, even though we all still feel this way. But it's a lot
Yeah.
different when somebody's saying bye bye depression, like you can't win here no more. This how you made me feel, but not no more. Like so, it's like I rather would offer that in my music than anything else. Like, and it's so real. Like music is so real, bro. I see like now that I'm on this side, I see what it's doing. It's a real thing. So it's like I
Yeah.
could never go back and make music that's saying anything other than the love of God. You know what I'm saying? I can't because it's pointless. Anything you make outside of that is completely useless. Only thing you're doing is helping the enemy for real. Honestly.
And the truth is, one other thing I want to bring up is you say like that, the music it's just it keeps people comfortable there, but it's not even that. It's like you're also bringing the solution, right? Like you're not just saying like you can come like it's not even just like a positive. It's like you actually have a solution. Like these guys don't have any solution. You listen to Juice World, he basically, I mean, do drugs, right? It's like that, like it's not pulling anyone out. It's just making people comfortable with like drugs and depression, right? And it's
Yeah.
like we're just like the bright side of that and the salute, like the real solution to that, like the actual one that elevates someone and brings them out, not this like, oh, 999, push away the negative energy. Like what? Like people are so foolish, bro. The people are so foolish. I'm like, when is the 999 energy or whatever ever like got you out of depression, right? Like
Yeah.
that type of stuff, I just don't understand. It's like I just I don't know, man. And they get
Yeah.
all the publicity. They get all the
The
publicity.
world we live in is crazy, bro. We live in a crazy world, bro.
Yeah,
And to be
yeah,
able to wake up in this and feel joy and be blessed is a gift. Like seriously, like
bro.
it's
Every single
literally a
day.
gift. It's literally a gift, yo. And I made this post on Facebook the other day because this guy just been saying it to me all. He was just been reminding me that if you think about it, like we're all living on one. It's like one line. You get what I'm saying? Let's just say
Yeah,
God drew a line in the beginning and pushed it forward. Like nothing can happen before unless He do it. But as far as us, we all on this one line of symmetry moving forward. So right now, people is getting in car accidents. People is getting raped right now. People is being blown up. Like people picking up kids' heads off the floors. People are in school right now. We're all doing everything at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's like, but before I even can think about complaining about anything, bro, what I had to think about what other people are doing at this same exact time right now. I'm in this lovely house that I act unappreciative of sometimes because I think it's a I don't know. I feel like houses are so. I'm tall. I'm like 6'5", so I'm like this far away from my ceiling. So naturally, I feel like I think this is a box. It's like I feel like houses are fixed. You know how dogs have dog cages, and the
yeah,
dog can just fit in there just enough to do what he wants. That's how I feel about a house a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm so
yeah,
tall, it's like I don't belong in here. But at the same time, God is like, yo, you're being ungrateful. You know what I'm saying? Because there's somebody who's in probably in a dog cage for real. You know what I'm saying? And I think
that's very true.
we all have to get out of our like we have to get completely out of our way so we can enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? Like there's
Yeah,
really it's not really much reason to really be down on yourself and wanting to hurt yourself and take yourself out unless your vision is perverted. Because I'm
Right.
looking at the same life I've always lived. I just see it different now. Like I actually
Yeah.
love it. You know what I'm saying? Like I can actually look
Amen.
at trees and appreciate them. You know what I'm saying? They're not just
Hmm.
trees, but I actually can appreciate them. I'm amazed at the sky, the moon. The moon just be sitting up there, and I'm like, yo, God, it's crazy. Like I be
Yeah.
talking to my wife, like, yo, like we're real. Like this ain't fake. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and whoever thought of this is just amazing. Like it's just crazy. So like, how could you not just want to? Like here, I surrender. Like you, out of all people, you can have me. Like if you can make the
Yeah.
moment, you can have me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I say when you say gratefulness, I think that's where the humbleness comes from. That when we talk about this pride issue, it's because people don't really understand that they are a creation. Like like
Right.
I guess that's what creates that humbleness. Is like you have to understand that like you got to surrender. Like, bro, you created the moon. Like we just going about, but like you are creation, right? Like I heard a thing the other day. Like a guy was talking about the word universe, and like uni is one or the, right, and like verse is like words or like what, and it's like the word, and it's like it's almost like God is saying like, because like Jesus said, I am the word, I am the truth. Like it's almost like he's saying like I am the universe, right? Like even the word universe almost has like Jesus written into it. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like I don't know if that sounds like
No.
beyond, but
Yeah,
like
I
that's
like
that's
how
how I
that.
think about it. Is it's like the universe basically means the word, and Jesus is the word. Like he is like that. Like it's just he's the
Yeah.
universe, right? Like
And he's the
everything moves
model
through him.
version of it. He's the
Yeah.
model version. He couldn't have came down as a dog and showed humans how to live. Like that's what I
No.
hate when people. I mean, it's just so crazy. Like that's I know now. Like that's why God be saying you gotta have the faith of a child. You know what I'm saying? Because as
Hmm.
a child, I really thought I could fly. Like you know what I'm saying? I really thought I saw Santa Claus in the sky. Like you couldn't tell me nothing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But imagine if I was being an adult at that time when I was 4 years old, thinking I saw Santa Claus, I would have been probably not even enjoying the moment, like the moment of
Yeah.
Christmas. Like I know everybody, oh, Christian pagan, I know. I'm just talking about me at 4 years old,
Right.
having the faith of a child. I saw Santa Claus. Like I know he came down and got them cookies. You know what I'm saying? And even if it's not real, that was my joy in the moment. So it's like if you're gonna be analytical about God, you're not going to enjoy your life. Like yeah, I think it's okay to have faith that a God created everything, and because this is crazy. It's always whatever God do, and He loved me. Like I think that, and He loved me is so big. But it's like God made the moon, that's amazing, but and He loves me. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Like so it's like I don't know. It's this nice safe space that I love to be in here, and it's nothing else can be more true than it. It's just impossible. Like I just don't understand how anything can make more sense than that.
No.
Why wouldn't you want the God of all creation to love you to death? You get what literally to death, like
Dude.
for real.
And people would rather be like have Drake autograph their shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like, bro, Drake is the same as you. Like he was created,
right.
right? Like he flesh and blood. Like he's you're idolizing. You know what I mean? It's like
And it's fake peace in their heart because if you take it all away, they're not gonna be who they are right now.
exactly.
So it's
I
not worth it.
mm-mm.
When you look at it from that perspective, if God were to take them billions away from him, like literally take it all away, like bro, you go back to the projects if that's where you came from. Are you still going to be this flexing person? Are you still going to talk down to women or talk about women or talk down to these men? Are you still going to be that same person? If not, it ain't no peace there. It's fake peace. It's purchased
Yeah,
peace.
that
That's what we'll
100%.
call it. Purchased peace. That's what we'll call it from now
Yeah,
on.
you be seeing it. It's crazy. You be seeing it so much because like I used to be like even like big and like until like the weekend and stuff, and you just see their decline, dude. Where it's like it's all fake, right? And then but you at some point their soul is like dying, right? So you like the money can't cover it up anymore. You know
Right,
what
you
I'm
can't
saying?
even pay
Like
for
you
it.
can't pay for it. Like you're dying inside, and you like with a lot of these artists, you see it so much. I mean, it's like actually like the deterioration over time where like the money's getting higher, but the like you can see the happiness or the like the struggle like
Yeah.
going, you know what I'm saying? Like you're seeing it don't add up, right? You're
When
thinking,
you
well,
see in the spirit,
money
it's
up.
not even a win. It ain't even a win no more at this point. I thought it was because Drake was one of my favorite rappers. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like he was that standard of good I was talking about as far as how I judge people. He was somebody I listened to see how much better I need to get. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. I know
But
what you're saying.
when I seen him win them 13 Grammys, I was like, whoo, that's crazy. I can't wait till I'm doing that. But now it's like, dang, like them jumps is gonna burn and melt when the end comes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
so it's like, what good is it? It's this one scripture. I'm not good with numbers, but I know how to hit. You feel what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
one thing. It's this one thing about chasing the win, and it completely take my love away from everything, except for some things. I still like cigarettes, bro. I had the hardest time not smoking them joints, bro. I give myself every reason to do it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like chasing the win. Nothing really has value over the soul. You get what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
what is there to do other than wake up and do whatever God needs you to do to win them? So for me, it might be making music. For you, it's this podcast right now. For you, you're positioned in that school for a reason. You know what I'm saying? You're really
Yeah.
in your heart trying to figure out, yo, how can I reach these 50,000 kids here? Like, because you know what they're going through. You know what I'm saying? So
I do.
it's like we just here. Like, let's just do whatever God wants us to do. I really think you being on that campus is for a specific reason. Like, I know
And
you
that
feel isolated. I know you feel alone, but it's
I
for a reason.
bad. Really bad, dude. You know what I have a friend. I have one friend on campus that I'd be talking to about it, and not even on the same like mindset, but like just is so willing to listen and like understands. I'm like, bro, I feel so isolated. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, I just like don't know who to talk to, bro. Like I'm just like, bro, it's like it feels so. You know what I mean? That's why like unity is so big to me right now because I'm like, bro, we need to start uniting. Like people need to start coming together because like
Yeah.
it's hard when you isolated. It's hard being an isolated sheep. You know what I mean? Like
And it's so those. I don't know what's going on, right? But like, it's like we isolated. But if you go to a church, you see a lot of people there, like a congregation of people. But my thing is, like, I don't think we're supposed to be in the church, like, just to know each other in the church. It's like, why don't I run into none of y'all outside? Like,
that's what I'm
bro,
saying. Nobody's
nobody
outside.
stops me and gives me the gospel, bro. Like, nobody. So it's no wonder why we're not taking over like territory how we supposed to. Like, how we be afraid to say it. We're really part of the problem. Like, we have to learn how to stand up and say it. Like,
I
they
know.
might get mad, but yo, we gotta plant the seed because it's crazy to think that in all of my years of living in Virginia, bro, I'm 36. 36. In all of my years, nobody has stopped me to give me the good news. But if I go to a church, I'm gonna see mad people. But like, where was y'all at when I was ready to kill myself?
Yeah, they're not there, and the problem is nobody's outside the church walls. Like that's our problem is like I'm outside the church wall, right? Like I'm trying to like get this out there. And it's like it's so hard because I feel outnumbered and I feel like isolated. And it's like, what can I do? And it's like that's why podcasting was like the first thing I thought of. It's like, how do I reach people in my area on a college campus by myself? Right.
Do you
And
got a
it's
two
like
mic setup or you just got one?
I got a one mic right now.
I'm about to say,
But
eventually you might want to get, because this is what I learned. You gotta, when it comes to people who don't believe, like Marcus Rogers, I don't even know if he was being strategic with it or not, but Mark would just answer questions. He would never debate me or make me feel or condemn me or nothing. He would just let me explain what I thought and just respond with something like, man, God loves you, man. Like, I just think he's holding you for himself. He would always say something good. So I'm only saying that to say, and this, I don't know what they call it, prophetic or nothing. I'm just telling you how I feel. Like, with you trying to reach people, like maybe you can make a subdivision of what you do now because you got the artist podcast thing, but you can also give one person at a time a chance to just say what they want. You know what I mean? Like, of course, you might bleep out words or whatever, but just have I think you said you and your friend have spiritual conversations, but even though it's not the same, but it's still comfortable to be able to talk to somebody about it. It's
Right.
like
Right.
maybe you should talk to other people and just, let them naturally conversate, but just be light in the situation. Like it might spark something on the campus itself. You know what I'm saying? Like you might could
Yeah.
become that podcast on the campus, and just like the dude Cliff. I don't know if you see the old dude Cliff that be at the colleges all the time. It's like he just go around with his son to different campuses, and he don't bash nobody. He just hold his end of the belief, but he let people say what they want to say. But allowing people to conversate about it in general is planting the seed in their mind to have a conversation with you that they're not going to have with nobody else in school. They're going to
Yeah.
be just talking about girls, drugs
Right.
or whatever with their friends, but at least with you, we could be talking about like it's like you got to get they wheels training to think about God, like because he's so far back in their mind, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Somebody got to bring it up to speed. So it just this was an idea. Something you might could do is have in person interviews with people and just pick their mind about it in general.
No, I like that idea because I think if we could get people that like I call them like the halfway there, like it's almost like they deal with it and they just they're looking for a way out. They don't know what it is. You let them talk about it, like, hey, I'm going through like this how I'm feeling, like all this, and you like, I get it, God. You know what I'm saying? Like give them this, just give them the answer, but you're not like out there fighting them about it. You know what I'm
Really,
saying? You
like
just
don't
like
fight them. Yeah, just have conversation with them. And I think you probably can like I don't know get one of the popular people from school and just have a conversation with them. It might start
yeah,
something on the campus, like because you're not there for no reason. You're doing what you're doing for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
you having a fight you having right now for a reason as far as like I want to tell them this, but they so this. So it's like clearly we gotta find some type of median to for it can just flow because it's like what you already want to do anyway. It's like reach them kids up there.
yeah. And actually, I last year I was in a class and I like discovered that my marketing teacher was like funding money to Planned Parenthood through like one of our required courses. So like I've actually been in a lawsuit against the university. So
Dang.
like that's helped me like I've been getting connected with a lot of like the like Christian like community groups because like they all reached out because they saw it and they're like, hey, like we'd love to like have you over, like come join. So I think like that might not be a bad idea. Like find student groups and like start talking. Like I think that's what I need to do. You know what I mean? Like I feel like all these people reaching out is like it's like I need to like that's what I need. I need to be outside more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
Like
it's these
so I don't feel so
conversations that
isolated.
it's these conversations that do it. The Bible do it, yeah, but seeing two down to earth people who don't mind saying, "Yeah, we sin, we need God." You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they need to see the real thing. If they think, because the standard is perfection. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But I can't be that perfect standard for you. I can try to be as perfect as what I'm standing next to, and what I want you to do is stand to what I'm standing next to. Don't stand by me because if you look at what I'm
Yeah.
doing, you might, you know what I'm saying. But come, all right, stand next to him. You know what I'm saying. That way we both can talk about what we doing wrong. Like, but I just think people need to see it more often. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like with Tim Ross, the Basement Joint, his podcast, it's the fact that he's so real and he's close to God enough to almost know what God was saying in situations. So it's easy for him to help people with questions and conversations because he's not coming at it from this perfect, you know what I'm saying? Like this just
Yeah.
perfect everything. Like he has a story and it feels relatable and it's biblical at the same time. So I feel like that's what these conversations are.
They
So if
are.
you can do this with another person, but in person, it might grow into something like, you know what I'm saying?
I
Crazy, bigger.
I love that because I think and also like it that shows like people start to understand that like it's not about the number and the following too. It's like real people. You know what I'm saying? Like these people aren't like they're not like some like celebrity and it's like boasting, right? It's like it's a real person that going through something, not even like and just wants to have a conversation about it. You know what I'm saying? And like
Yeah.
it's out there for people to see. And it's I love that you say that because it's been hard. Like it's been a bit hard because like I'm here. And I feel like you kind of get in that place where you just like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, you asking a guy like why, and it's like I think the lawsuit's part of it, like a little bit, because I'm like, nobody else stood up. I mean, there's 600 kids in the class. I was the only one that like was like, yo, like she just taking our money. Like we were paying $99 for this, and like she took 60 grand from us and sent it to Planned. Like I'm just like,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
thinking to
crazy.
myself, nobody else was willing to stand up. And it's
That's
like,
crazy though.
and so for me, it's like, I think like that's part of it, but I think there's more. Like, I don't feel like I've like fulfilled it. I think there's more to it. Like that was the first step. And like, I think, and then like I did like a Fox News interview for it and like all these things. And I think like going through that was like really made my mind. It wasn't even like, yeah, like Fox News, that's great, whatever. But it was like, I need to be speaking on stuff like that. I don't know what it was. It was just this whole like thing, like evolving into like, okay, like I spoke once on TV, right? But like I didn't like I wanted this is what I feel like I need to be doing more. Like I need to be outside, right? Like I need to be outside the
Yeah.
church walls. I need to be like, and I think like that's had the biggest effect for me was is like the lawsuit. So I think it definitely has had an effect to get me to where I am. But it's like, what's my next step? Like, why am I still here? You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
about to
Like,
say, I think right now, I think the next step is to be as obedient as you were when you stood up and said something. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like
yeah.
one instance that had like a rippling effect of things that can happen. So it's like in the moment, like God was telling me, if I'm in your shoes, think about all the other times you didn't be obedient. You know what I'm saying? It could have been
Hmm.
ripple effects going on like everywhere by now. You know what I'm saying? So I think the next step is to just be obedient in the moment. Because clearly standing up and saying how you what God what would want you to stand up and say has this rippling effect that's still kind of rippling right now. So it's like imagine
Hmm.
if we just be obedient. It's like every step is like like cracking the ground, like everything. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
And I,
He's telling me this right now. Like I don't even think like this, but this conversation has me actually thinking because I'm like, dang, you did that one thing. You struggling with should I do this or should I say this, but
mhm.
it's like yes and no. So like maybe you should just start saying yes to whatever you want. It don't seem like he puts you in dangerous situations where it'd be hard to say yes. Stand up and be bold or whatever. So it's like you like in a perfect place to just start taking them little steps of obedience, like to have like
Yeah.
a big effect.
And I think that's the big thing is like not having fear for me was like really like not having a spirit of fear. It's like not what people think. Like because when you first making that first bold step, worried about what people think, and you worried about like repercussions, right? But then like that's where it comes. That's where like the trust is so true faith is so important because it's like once you have that, you got nothing to worry about. And I think that's what happened with me with the lawsuit was like I finally was like, okay, I'm doing this for God. We good. Like I don't care what people think. I'm not worried about what's gonna happen. Like I could get kicked out of the university, whatever. I don't care. That's like I have to do this. Like this is on my spirit. Like I got to do it. And then I think like just everything else came after it. Like doing this, right? Like it was just like it's just on my spirit. Like I just got to get this stuff out because like being isolated, I think is part of God's plan a little bit because it's like that's what's gotten me out, like reaching out to people, right? Like I would have never like reached out to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have been too like felt like I wasn't important enough, like this type of thing. But God's like, bro, we you all my children. You know what I'm saying? Like we all need to be like working together. That's why I keep bringing up unity because I think for some reason I feel like that's what I'm called to do so much is like create unity. I don't know what it is. I don't know exactly how it's gonna work, but just over the past like month, it's just been like it's been hammered in my brain. It's like what I'm thinking about all the time. It's like how can I like bring us together? I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm saying a lot right now, but it's
Nah,
like
you good, bro. Like for real,
I
I feel it's
I
like
feel like that's it.
I think what we doing is good for me because it's like revelation for me because I know in the Bible I told you I'm not good with everything it say. I just know what it say. It's
Right, right.
almost like I don't know how I explain it, but it's like I think it say when two or three are gathered or something like I'm present or something like that. The fact that we having this conversation is allowing me to focus on God for an hour and 30 minutes when I probably would have just been playing Call of Duty. So
Yeah.
I think the overall thing is to just have the conversations, regardless of who you're having it with, regardless of how long it is. Like a simple, hey, I'm just letting you know Jesus loves you. Like I don't know you in the store, but hey, that little piece of conversation is really all it is. Like, and I feel like I'm getting so much revelation just from him talking through you or talking through me or just being present because we're gathered. Like, I don't know what it is, but like I said, bro, I'll probably just be playing a game right now or mixing the song right. Can you hear me?
Lost you there for a second. Yeah, you're good. You're
Yeah,
good.
my wife had called, but yeah, I probably just be playing the game or something right now. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
we're actually having a good, nice conversation about like Jesus, like you know what I'm saying?
yeah. No,
So I
no,
think
there's
that's the whole overall point is this is spreading the gospel literally. You know what I'm saying? Like people going to
it
watch
is,
this. It's the whole
dude.
point.
See, that's beautiful. That's what we want. That's like what I wish people understood is like this is spreading the gospel. Like people think it's like on street preachers, and I'm like, no, this is like how we do it. Like we have the real conversations with real people on platforms that people want to see it, right? And it's like that. That's just what I feel like is the most effective way because it's what changed me. Was first the music, and then it was real people. I started watching Marcus Rogers. I started watching Isaiah Robin. It was like seeing these guys having the real conversations that nobody else talking about. Then it was like, okay, I need to go learn, right? It was like, okay,
Right.
the spiritual milk, like I listen to these people, great, like they really they start to like feed you that spiritual meat that and then you go do it yourself. You know what I mean? It's like now you go evangelize. Now you go learn for yourself so you're not dependent on somebody else. And I think that was me. Like that was my journey. So I feel like especially people like with like around this age group, like you could reach them the same way as music and social media. I think they are the two, not even social media, just like media in general, entertainment, right? Like that's the strongest way to reach them, in my opinion. And obviously, like I don't think there's a perfect way, but I think like we need to be reaching them everywhere. And I feel like my area is that, right? Like, cause like that's I can connect with it so well. Is that way?
Dang, God just I don't know what it is, bro. I like you though. it's
No, I
it,
appreciate it, but I
but
think I
when you talk about age, it makes me think like what does it matter how old a person is when all of our spirits is eternal? Like it's eternal anyway. So it don't matter
right.
what age you is. Jesus loves you. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
sorry this happened. Like
I think the age
people
thing
need
is
it,
is
bro. Like it's crazy that a 70-year-old and a 10-year-old can both be depressed wanting to kill themselves. So the amount of years really don't got nothing to do with it. Like the amount of years, it really can't. You know what I'm saying? Because you
yeah.
done lived the whole 60 more years than this person, but y'all still thinking about doing the same thing, which gotta show you that it's something going on in the spiritual realm.
Yeah. I I think what it is like we just got to be able to reach people at every age. And I think we struggle from like I think like I've talked to so many people on like where they lost like either they grew up in the church or they never did, but they always lose God at like around like seventh, eighth grade. And then you're like, what happened? And I think it's like the church just I don't know what it is, but I think like that's why it's so important to me is like I've talked to so many people that lose it like around high school, and I'm like we got to keep these people like fired up, you know what I mean? Like on fire. It's like they lose the fire. And
Yeah,
I'm
maybe
like,
you should ask him though for real. Because think about it. You found God, right? I found
right.
God. God is so big. How could you lose him? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
Like
what I'm saying.
maybe
Yeah.
you never had him for real. Like maybe that
Yeah.
should be the follow up
Well,
question.
and
Because
that's
he's
the thing
so
is
big.
the thing is you never really had them because you can't lose them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like
he's
once you
too
have that
big to he's
connection,
too big
you
to be
can't.
lost.
But that's what I'm saying is like why did that seed never bloom? And it's like I think like it's
Okay.
because especially like at least right now for me, I think it's like entertainment is attacking the young generation and it just pulls it all out of them. And I think if we can like we become some like we need entertainment. You know what I mean? Like, people are going to watch entertainment, right? Like that's just it's inherent. People watch entertainment, they listen to music. If we can take those over or at least put that alternative out there, that is I think will have the best effect on the younger generation because I think where a lot of people are become lost in their high school and whatever years. And I think like we need to like keep. I don't think like it should be an age thing, like save as many souls as you can, but doing this when it's not like we're like it's not that we can't pull a 40-year-old in. It's not that a 40-year-old won't find this enjoyable. But it's that like this is the platforms that you're gonna reach that 16 to 25 or whatever. I don't know. I just feel like that's been on my heart that like I'm in this group, this age group. I'm seeing it for myself. I mean, I'm in Michigan, so like Michigan's like it's getting pretty liberal. Like I'm about as liberal area as you can get. So it's like, and I don't even like to say liberal in that way, but like, you know, like anti-God, like it's very like just like the memo around here just isn't like that. So it's like we really got to be that voice because everything is going against us. And it's like if we just like aren't out there with this age group and we're like, oh, they're young, they're gonna do what they want to do, like they're gonna be taken over by society. And that's what happens. I feel like that's what's happening. So
Yeah,
I think
it's
we
important
just
for us to be the light. Like we have to be the light in the situations because
yeah.
we could talk till our face turn blue. You know what I'm saying? But being a light to somebody is big. I feel like it's probably the most important thing. Like, and I just think about our relationship with God is like I'm a son, you know what I'm saying? So I look at the way he parented me, you know what I'm saying? So then
Mm-hmm.
I try to mirror that with my kids, but even also with like the kids on my son's football team, it's like I notice when the kids are doing bad, if you think about it like regularly, when the kids are doing bad in football, they start losing. Everybody on the sideline and the coaches are just pouring in this negative energy. It's like, come on, like y'all, you're ruining it. But it's like God don't be like that with me as a son. So I try to
Right.
be the one on the sideline, being a light in that darkness for them kids. Like, because you got everybody looking at you like you know what I'm saying? Like you're solely messing up everything for everybody because y'all losing the game. But it's
Yeah.
like, yo, you're not gonna win every day. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And you know you're a good player. You know you got potential. So just enjoy the game, like have fun. But I
Right.
think even though I'm not like ministering the gospel to these kids, I think being something different to them is helping them see something different because everybody that's shunning them and mad at them for losing the game in that moment, all of y'all look the same to them. You know what I'm saying? Because all of y'all are mad when they losing and y'all happy when they winning. But somebody who still has joy while we're losing has to look different to them in person.
Yeah.
Because I can just say what everybody's saying. Oh, y'all good, but when y'all losing, y'all trash. But having someone that has a different train of thought, I think that's a good way to actually reach even kids. You know what I'm saying? Because
Amen.
everybody gonna tell them the same thing. Everybody's gonna tell them this is your fault we lost and the parents mad at you and all of that. But I literally be like, man, come on, man. Like, it's just it's a game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
trying to keep them happy and in the game. Like it's just a loss. Can't put all your wins on that.
And
But
as
we
somebody that
literally
played
train them
sports, it
kids to
has an
think that way.
effect. Yeah,
So,
I mean, I played sports, and I can tell you, whenever coaches are like, and everyone's negative, it don't make you play any better. Okay,
right.
like that don't make you like. It's like it's counterproductive. It's 100% counterproductive. So like
right.
what you're saying there, like it's not even like you're the light and you're the right way to do it. Like you
Yeah.
shouldn't like it's actually like if you positive, people are gonna feel positive when they play. When you feel negative when you're playing, how you gonna be playing better? That makes no sense, right?
Right.
Like you need good energy, positivity when you playing, or else you just decline. It just goes straight downhill from there.
Right.
So
That's why having a mind of Christ is important. Like I know I could get on the internet and I could go hard to go viral. You know what I'm saying? But I could go hard, go viral, get 10 million followers and only reach 7. You know what I'm saying? Or I
yeah,
can actually get out here in the dark with my lantern on. Like, me, like who cut on the light? It's just me, and I come in peace, my guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah,
that's what people need. It looks so different. Like I challenge all my homies. It's like I always use like our marriages and our girls, our relationships in the situation. I'm like, if you think about the women we deal with, they're all used to people who disagree and lash out. Like they're used to it. Like You know what I'm saying? They're used to people not taking blame. They're used to so many things. Just like, what would your relationships be like if you love like Christ every time you could? Like, really, what would it look like? So
Right.
it don't matter what we say. We have to be this in person so somebody can see that. Okay, something about you is different. What is that something? Is Jesus? Okay, Jesus must be real. But if I'm just talking about it and then I turn around to kick it and smoke a blunt with you, you're gonna be like, whatever Jesus you follow, I don't want that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why action's so important. That's why that's what you saying is so true. It's like if you're not like again, it goes back to if you're not the light, then like what you saying isn't almost becomes invalid, right? It's almost
Right.
like I don't even care what you preaching because you're not living it. Like,
Right. So just be it. Especially you 50,000 kids is a lot of people.
yeah, it's a lot of people. And that's
You
why the
know what
people
I'm saying?
close to you are so important because if they see you living it and preaching it, because they see you on both ends, right? They see you living it and preaching it. If they start changing, then that's so much light in one place. You know what I'm saying? Like if they start changing because then people know, oh, they know him like that. I like, like let's say like one of my buddies, like close buddies that I'm not super close with, but he's like, hey, he knows him like that. He's becoming like that. I'm gonna become like that. Like that's what I'm saying is that light just expands or those
Right.
seeds bloom. You know what I mean? Like however you want to like look at it, it's like Mike Teasy, fresh out the greenhouse. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
like you throw in them seeds and they start planting. Like that's really what it comes down to. So
Yeah. We went in. I feel like one thing I've been saying lately is I feel like Satan losing his star players because
yeah,
all the people that's fire in secular rap are now coming to this side and doing the same thing for this. Because I didn't know what I was gonna rap about when I first became a Christian artist. Like, all right, like doing a feature on Marcus song is different than figuring out how I'm gonna do my own set of albums or mixtape or whatever. I didn't know what I was talking about, but God was like, yo. When my boy Live told me God just want to use me how I am apart from sin, I was like, okay, yeah, it's game time. Like, because I can
yeah,
just do the same thing I was doing, but my message just got to be different. I didn't know what I was gonna rap about. I thought I was gonna have to like just glory, 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 like over and over. But it's like, nah, like my testimony bring people to Christ too. So I can just
yes,
testify in the music. You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
it's just like, just let them use you like how you is, just apart from sin. So you don't gotta change your swag. You don't gotta change like your lingo. You might gotta stop cursing, but you could be who you are. Like just don't
Yeah.
sin while you're doing it.
Amen. Testimonies are like probably the most influential thing I would say. You hear somebody's testimony, especially like for you, like when it's suicide, like you overcoming suicide, like how can somebody not see that? Like, how can that not reveal power to somebody and show like the power
Right.
that like God has? I think that's the best way. That's like the best thing you can share. And like usually I open up like asking your personal testimony, but I I feel like God just carried our conversation from the start. So I wasn't even about to like start pulling
Word.
questions out on you. I was just like, I think everything went where it needed to go. And I think like that's sometimes God just carries conversation and it's like we've been talking for an hour and 45 minutes and you wouldn't even know that because it's like it's just God's words flowing. So
Yeah.
it's so beautiful.
Do you be doing Bible studies on your off time?
Yeah, I got two friends that my one buddy I don't get to see a lot because he be working like almost all day every day, but and then one lives back home and we do like a 3-man during the week, but like other than that, I just be on my own. Like I got it right next to me, but like you know what I'm
Word.
saying? And I've been doing Isaiah right now. But yeah, I don't know. I like to do Bible studies with my friends because then we kind of like then I can kind of like help like reveal to them too a little bit. And I think that's again like not being isolated. But when I'm really trying to learn, like I'll be locked in myself because I think that's the best way I can just like break it down and then I go. You know what I'm saying? Then I go out to like them like,
Yeah.
hey, I just read Isaiah 54. Like how you feeling about this? How you feeling about that? And then like
Yeah.
I think that I try to learn before I go to. I know that sounds maybe counteractive, but it's like I try to learn before I go to the Bible study. So like I really know like okay, and then maybe I am wrong, maybe like I
I
get
don't
some
think
new
it's no
revelation,
wrong way
but
to like do it. Cause I feel like whatever you do, as long as you read it, God gonna take care of it from there.
yeah,
Like
that's what
as long as you read it,
yeah,
that's
the
all
Holy
that really.
Spirit gonna
You could
guide it,
be.
bro.
I realized I was reading for the wrong reason whenever I tried on my own. But so it's like if you read it for the right reason and you really want to know about what you're reading with the whole heart, he's going to show it to you. Like point blank period.
Yeah,
So I don't think it's a right or wrong way to do it. But I was just thinking it's like listening to you talk and knowing you isolated, I feel like you might just need some more people to talk about it with. So it's like
yeah,
I'm down to get up once every 2 weeks and just to have this type of conversation. Like even if you don't like record it, post it, we can just do it for our own benefit, like our own strength, like just to because I can feel through this interview you want somebody you can relate with, like because
yeah,
you're
big time.
isolated. So it's like I'm the same thing here. Like King Legend is the closest thing I have to a real brother in Christ here where I'm at. Like I just
Right.
started going to a church, but none of my close friends, we don't get to do this. So it's like we can do it just like I do it with Legend. Like even if we got to exchange numbers and just like yo Rick, I read Isaiah. Like hey yo bro, I read da 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 da. And we just like just to because like I said, this is me having someone to talk to in this moment. I know it's a podcast, but it's somebody to talk to about and like release and express like what I've been
Yeah,
reading and what I've been feeling. So it's like it's more healthier than a podcast alone. So I'm just extending my hand to say like we can do this more often. You know what I'm saying? Like especially if you need to be able to exercise your mind because I know how God do. He got your
yeah.
mind
Hey,
spinning.
we can. I mean, obviously you got my Instagram, so we can exchange over there, and I'd love to do that, bro. Because honestly, the best thing to do is talk about. That's why, like, I'm just like this is. I don't even like to call it like a podcast because like we just like it's like a Zoom meeting. You know what I'm saying? We just talking and
Yeah.
like it's being recorded. It's like it's not even like it's not like your traditional podcast where I got like a script written up and I'm like, all right, we're gonna hit this topic, and then we'll finish. Like
Yeah.
we just, I
And I
mean,
think we could get Legend in here too. Like maybe we could just get something started. Everybody can keep what they got going on, but maybe we should just record ourselves, us three doing this. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's what it's the best way to do it.
Sorry,
And
my wife is calling. But
you good.
yeah, we just maybe it'll start something new because me and bro get on the phone for 3 hours sometimes, just talking. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
it could be being recorded, it could be contacts, it could be building something. So I don't know. Maybe we could just start doing something. You know what I'm saying? Let's do
Yeah,
something. Like when you want to know what we can do for God, let's just do something. You know
that's
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying. Do you know Brandon Tatum, like Officer Tatum?
Not necessarily. I feel like I might.
Okay. I'd say he's like a conservative influencer, but he's a Christian. Anyway, he does like panels. He's got like usually it's like the same three people, but he sometimes he'll switch it up and it'll be like different guys. And like when I was like in my more conservative realm, like that was even big for me. And I think like that's good on a Christian realm too, though, is like just having like a panel. They literally just talk. Like it's like the real like sometimes it's the realest thing. Like one will be eating dinner and like I'm like, but like it's so real, bro, because they're like it's like this they're live. It's like they're just talking. And like I don't really watch it, but I did watch the one like over the summer. It was like had like Bryson in it, and I am a fan of Bryson. I like to watch him sometimes and stuff,
Yeah.
and I saw him in it, and I was like, bro, it's like it was so because like it was just so real. I don't know, like I think that's like so enjoyable to watch. It's like you just watching four dudes. They just like they're basically just chilling, having a conversation, but with a camera, and it's like
Yeah.
that's what I've tried to make this too. It's the same thing. Like we just talking with a camera. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like there's no need to like be anything but that. Like
Yeah, you
that's
get to see people in real time. That's one
yeah.
thing I do like about the internet and like a FaceTime video and even vlogging. I realize like people always say pictures worth 1,000 words, but a video of the moment is way better. You know what I'm
Way
saying?
better.
So that's
Yeah.
why me is like I filmed most of my life like the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I've been filming Marcus life for a long time. Unintentionally because I'm just filming my life. I can't walk around like this all day. So it's like I'm looking through my own eyes when I watch the footage back. But I have so much footage, you know what I'm saying, of like
Mhm.
everything. And I just think I don't know, it's just important that we do this. Like when you film, because people only know Marcus through the music and through the internet. Imagine when I start letting y'all walk next to him for real. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because he's so like he's just a sweet person. You wouldn't even like think it from the internet. Like that's why I get real defensive when people talk crazy about him because I know him in person. Like he's a sweet, sincere, hard-working person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I
There's
can't
some
wait until
fruit.
we start dropping some of this footage because it was a convicting moment. What I know is going to convict people about doing that is the same thing that convicted me about Kirk Franklin. Like just listening to Christian influencers saying he's this and he's that, I had like a biased opinion about him just cause that's what I was taking. But I also seen this video of him finding out his real dad won't dead and all this other stuff. And God was like, yo, look at you judging people. You don't even know what they're going through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's why I try not to, I don't say names. I just watch the fruit. I watched the fruit like if they bearing good fruit, like Marcus Rogers, obviously there's a lot of fruit there. Been a huge like super impactful, but there's some people out there where you question it, but I'm not gonna call them out. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Right, right, right. And
I
I
don't
feel what you're saying.
I
I
don't
feel
know
what you're
nothing
saying.
behind the scenes. I don't know
Because
how this person
if
walks.
the spotlight was on your life, you could be called out about something
That's
too.
what I'm saying. It's the
That's
same
what
thing.
God
Like
be saying to me. Like just because they made a mistake in public or somebody behind the scenes leaked some of their mistakes, don't think that can't happen to you. So before you
yeah,
say something, you need to that log in your eye thing parable. That I always think about
take
that.
the
It's
log
like
out of your eye
yeah,
before you
it's
take
like
it out of your
okay, I
brother's
know
eye.
I got
Yeah,
logs in my eyes, so let me not say nothing about nobody else. Like I
right.
try to keep it that way. It's fleshy and it's kind of natural, but that's the stage I'm in right now. Is I'm trying to I don't want to love the things that God loves because He tells me I have to. I want to love the things that God loves because I love them too. You know what I'm saying? I want to
Yes,
actually be
yes.
happy about serving like my wife. You know what I'm saying? I want not saying I'm not happy, but it's be moments where it's like I might want to play the game, she might want to watch a movie. I'd be like, oh man, I've been at work all day, I've been taking care of the kids, I've been doing this. I just want to do this for me sometimes. Like, but it's
Right.
like God would be like, you know what I'm saying? He caters to me like more like than he kind of worried about himself. Like he's good alone. It seems like he don't really need me, but like he cares about me. He loves me enough to still keep coming to my aid doing this. So like I'll give up and say, oh, all right, I'm gonna just come watch a movie, but I want to go do it because I love it. Like okay,
Right.
I actually love not doing what I want to do what you want to do. That's the point. That's
Yeah.
the point I'm trying to get to with my relationship with God. Like I want to literally love the things He loves because I love it too, not because I'm scared to go to hell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That I love. I'm just gonna bring it up real quick. Psalm 37:4 to cite delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Like just delight. You know what I mean? Like this
Yeah.
that word means so much. Delight. Like that means exactly what you just said. Like you want to do it, not because you feel like you have to, or you trying to step over the grave, and get to heaven. It's like you want to do it. Like it's His word is fulfilling to you, and I think
Right.
that's it right there. That's the trust and delight is like my like two things I tell myself all the time. It's like trust, but also delight in it. You know what I mean? Like
Trust and
trust
delight.
that trust and delight. It's like those are the
I like
two
that. That needs to get
sometimes
on the
hardest
shirt.
things.
That's what you could do. You can put them on some shirts, get you a couple shirts made, hand them out
Yep.
to the students.
Trust and delight. That I
That's
like I never even put it
hard though,
together, but
with a little cup of coffee on it.
yeah. I like that. I'm about to write that down. I don't got my pen on me. Oh, I do got my pen on me. I'm about to write that down. Trust and delight. Because like it really do be the theme of the Bible. Like if you think about it, like everything's about having real trust and really delighting in it. You know what I'm
And
saying?
when you
Like,
say delight in that manner, it made me think about rejoicing too. Like
yeah.
enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? Like so even the bad stuff like that happened is like anything that happened to you because of Christ, you still supposed to rejoice in it regardless of what it
Hmm.
is. So trust and delight sounds is real catchy, it's real easy on the tongue. And I can just picture seeing it on somebody's shirt, like at Publix or something like that, or like at Whole Foods. I'd be like, hey, what's that? You know, is that
Yeah,
did y'all make that clothing line? Like
I
Trust and
like
Delight
that.
with a
Trust
little
and delight.
with a
Yeah,
small coffee mug with some steam coming out of it.
yeah, I like that. And like it is catchy, and it's like, but it really be the truth too. You know what I mean? Like when people ask you, like, "Hey, what does that mean?" You can it gives you an opportunity to be like, "Man, this is what I live every day,"
You
and
might
you
want to
just
clip that part too, in case somebody try to take that. But it's up to you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't want them to steal my trust and delight that quick. That would be good though. It could be like a little line, and I could make like a little line with the podcast. You know, like I have a can't cancel God shirt and a trust and delight shirt, and that
You,
could be
do
like
you drink
my.
coffee or
I don't myself,
what
but
you drink? Whatever you drink, you just need to get you a Trust and Delight cup. That way, get you a hat. You know what I'm saying? What is that?
I'm tea. I'm a tea
All right,
guy,
yeah,
iced
yeah,
tea.
yeah, yeah. So maybe you could just start pouring the tea into your custom mug or whatever, and just put Trust and Delight up there.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. I know, like, I used to be a big Matt Walsh guy, and then he's got like his like cup with all his like his show slogan or whatever. It's a good
Yeah.
idea. Just have a little cup mug in front of my camera, and
And
I can
then
drink out of that.
what was I about to say? I forgot about asking another question. I be having mad questions. What was I finna say to you? So is these podcasts the only time that you're live? Like not live, but putting content on?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I usually clip like Instagram, or I'll clip part of this and put on Instagram to like show people it's out there. But I just do, yeah, just straight episode podcast. I haven't done anything else particularly. But but it's like sometimes it's like hard to keep going because like you just like you feel like nobody's watching, but then I just always think like all it takes is one person to watch. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like, and we just like, yeah, it's just keep
It's
going,
kind of
stay
hard.
patient.
I know the feeling. Like, trust me, bro. I've been doing music for like 20 years of my life. Like, YouTube views has never been a thing of mine. You know what I'm saying? And it
Hmm.
used to get discouraging, like big time. Like, but I done did everything musically you could think of, bro. I done got other people signed to like Rick Ross. I done got other people writing deals. I done been in next to Puffy, like all these people, Timberland, like all the people, and nothing never would just happen for me, bro. Like nothing, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then on top of that, I'm not getting views. I don't really bring in money from my streams, but I got a lot of people that tell me the music helped them from feeling how they feel. So it's like over time, it's like, okay, what's going on? A million views is not as important as saving a life. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
That's what it comes down to, and that's like what I set my mind to.
right. So I'm about to say, well, good thing you set your mind to it. I was gonna tell you, it don't matter. Like you're edifying my life right now. You know what I'm saying? With each other, we're doing this right now. Like I don't know what I would be doing right now. I'd probably be yelling at my daughter because she just be running around the house doing anything. But it's like I got a sense of peace right now. I got a sense of calm. I got because my morning this morning I was focused on what we have to do, podcast, but I also was focused on all the work I have to do. But this conversation kind of just free like that feeling of the
Yeah.
burden I had on me. So it's like it's super important that my wife just keep calling the phone.
It's all
But
good, bro. Don't
seriously,
worry
like
about it.
whenever you feel like it ain't going right, bro, it's right.
Yeah. That's been my like complete renewal. It's like we good. You know what I'm saying? Like I got even like today, it's like I got schoolwork, I got so much to be doing, but it's like I don't even care because I'm doing what I'm called to do right now. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
Like
right.
this, it don't even matter because like at the end of the day, if God was so worried about my schoolwork, I wouldn't be doing this. You know what I'm saying? But it's not that. Like it's like
Yeah.
whatever. It'll be taken care of. Like it's all good. So
It's
I just
already done.
it's already done. I don't stress about it. It's like whatever. I'll get it done or I won't or it will or whatever. And I like whatever happens, well, like it's already established, right? I guess that's what I think about. It's like I just keep doing what I'm called to do. Not saying I don't work hard. You know what I mean?
Now, I get what you're saying, but
It's not like I
that
don't
train
work
of
hard.
thought, if you really live by it every day, it can make the worst job the best job. And I think that's
Exactly.
why he wants to renew our mind in general. It's like,
Mhm.
yo, everything that's there is still gonna be there, but how you looking at it determines how you feel every day. You know what I'm saying? Like
Amen.
literally believing the gospel to me is the most profound thing you can do because I take the gospel like very serious. So when God says something like uh everything happens for the good of those who believe in him, I'm like, okay. When I take it literal, that's saying, okay, like, okay, even if you broke your leg today, like it might hurt, it might be bad, but it has to be happening for a better reason. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I always ask people, I asked my cousin,
always.
I said, if you knew what the better reason was now, like let's say the better reason came 10 years later. If you knew it now, when it happens, would you still be sad? They said no. And I said, well, okay, well, that's how I live my life. Like, I don't know what the reason is, but if I believe it's gonna happen one day, I might as well accept it now. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? And just get on with
Amen.
my day. Like, what I'm
Mhm.
crying over spilt milk for.
Amen, bro. You couldn't have said it better. You know that there's a reason for everything. There's a greater purpose. There is. There's a greater purpose. That's like for me, it's been like not stressing about financials has been a big one, and like just not stressing about my future because I'm at such a weird age. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm getting to a point where I gotta start making moves here, and like financials comes into that, and it's like just don't stress about it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's been me is like really being at peace and like trust and delight. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Just, just,
That's
just and
good.
delight. Just and
That's
delight.
good. Even
So,
if nobody watched this, the best part to me is trust and delight.
trust and delight, baby. Let's rock with it. Let's rock with it. I
Man,
think
that's
that
hard, yo.
I like that. I'm liking that. I think I got to do something with it. I think I got to do something with it.
You're gonna have to, because you can say it after everything. Like, that's even a bye-bye message. Like, all right, bro, I'm going. All right, trust and delight, bro. You be good. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been rocking with Shalom a lot, but I might have to switch over to trust and delight. Hey, trust and delight, bro. I'll see you later. Like, yeah, like that's smooth. That's smooth. I like
and
that.
even on the shirt, it's not often that the saying on the shirt is used can be used like a lot. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, I like that. We go figure it out
Yeah.
though. We go
For
figure it
sure.
out. All right.
All right, bro.
Well,
So, this is my kids right here, man.
no problem, brother.
It's about time
Thanks
for
for
me to
coming.
be a dad. It's time to be a father.
Thank you for coming on the show. Rick Rogers Worldwide on Instagram, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for coming on, brother.
Hey, send me your number, and
Yes,
we're
sir.
gonna do this more than a little bit, bro. Don't
Yes,
just
sir.
stop. Let it just. It's a little. We in a podcast right now.
That's awesome. How's it going? I'll send you that number over Instagram and we could talk more.
All right, appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. Have
All
a
right,
blessed night.
you too.
All right, thank you guys. Great episode. Talked a lot there. Good 2-hour conversation. I hope that really reached you guys. Just God, I mean, we talk about everything, the importance of unity, and we just gonna keep expanding, getting out of this like feeling like we isolated. There's so many of us out there. What a beautiful conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed. Get ready for the next episode. It's going to be another good one. Be blessed. Shalom.